don't think we, yeah. You're just gonna have to guess where we're starting
right now.
This is it. Okay, so welcome back to the Bloom Era podcast. I'm Marie,
Michelle,
Vita, Michelle,
and we are 4 lifelong friends that we were in school together since junior high. So we've known each other since before our period started, and now we are in our early 40s, and we are talking about that next stage of womanhood where perimenopause and menopause and just what, I don't want to use the word aging, but what aging looks like. And this episode, we are talking about menopause rituals and historically how menopause has been treated by other cultures, not our own. I will say, just from our culture gets an F compared to every other culture on how we treat
that's
aging. And
good to hear that other cultures do.
They do.
Like, I'm excited to hear.
I am floored at how amazing it is. On like let's get started. So hold it. Menopause has been called a change, a curse, even the end of womanhood. But around the world, women have told very different stories. Some cultures saw it as the moment you gain power. Others called it a second spring, and still others treated postmenopausal women as leaders, healers, and keepers of memory. In today's episode, we're going to explore menopause rituals and stories from Native America, Japan, Africa, India, and the Andes. And we're going to ask, what if we inherited those stories instead of the silence and stigma that we do currently inherit? And maybe most importantly, when should we start making our own transitions with this type of ritual? So we're 42. Is it too soon? Or is it exactly the right time? This will play better on the podcast audio.
I love that. I love this.
So,
as like an aside before we get into these, like, I think it's fascinating because we do the same thing with menstruation in our society too. It's not like a celebration. It's not like, I was just saying, like, we didn't talk about it at school. We were like, oh, did you start your period yet? Like, no, I don't know when you guys started your period. Like, it just happened and we don't talk about it.
Don't talk about it.
And I think,
is that
they're better? I think so. I think they're better at it, like as a whole.
Yeah.
I think it's just like kids are more open now.
Yeah.
But like the fact that we didn't feel comfortable talking to each other about when we were on our period
says so much about what kind of culture we're doing this in.
So, and let's do better for menopause than we did for menstruation.
Exactly. So our first one is the Native American culture. So among some Native tribes, like the Omaha, once a woman stopped menstruating, she could join the sacred pipe ceremony, which had previously been reserved for men. She was seen as spiritually powerful because she no longer lost blood and instead held her life force within. So in Western culture, menopause is often framed as losing something, but in these indigenous traditions, women went from having cyclical lunar power to having permanent consolidated power, sometimes even a higher status than men. So really interesting to me was like, because I was like, well, how did they treat the women who were menstruating? And it was basically like, the idea was you can't come to our sacred pipe ceremonies or our men's ceremonies because your power outweighs the ceremony's power. So we can't have a menstruating woman because that blood is like a life force. Okay. So it was just fascinating to think of, we're being constantly cleansed. Like our body is in a constant state of ceremony because it's, it's a cycle. And it's connected to the moon, and especially before artificial light, they said that we were much more connected to the moon than we are now. But so they were like the men. It was very much I was like, so did they consider it scary or did they consider it bad to be menstruating? And they were like, it was just, you were set apart because you were so powerful that yours would override the prayers of the men. And it wasn't that, and theirs was because they didn't have a cycle. They didn't have anything that they had to create outside of themselves, a ceremony to connect with the spiritual side of the world. Whereas we were in a constant state of spiritual, and like our blood was powerful, and it's part of their sacrifices and their spiritual access and portals and things like that.
It reminded me of like Wiccan rituals where they like cut themselves and put blood into their things. So
but then we're like just this constant state of it, like going through that. And so once you quit, but I was like, did they think it was less than? And they were like, no.
God, it sounds like.
Yeah, but they were like, not, so I don't have it with me, but I was like, write a letter from an elder man in these cultures to a young woman about her. And it was just like, yours is, it was like truly like respectful, which of course I was like, use as much anthropological like evidence as you can, but it was like they just considered it isn't until the Western time, until we get to Western civilization, that you're ashamed of it, you're scared of it, like unclean. Yeah, they were like, that wasn't the point. It wasn't that you're unclean and you need to go sit somewhere. It was like, you are you're too powerful in this way. Like, and
I think having a 12-month calendar is a sign of like patriarchy.
Oh, yes.
You think about like, why don't we follow 28 days? Like 28 times, like that makes so much better sense than like 31, like trying to figure out like which month have 30, which one have 31. I'm like, and then the moon
and menstruation,
and
and like what they did with women.
So it makes me wonder too, like with the lunar thing, did all women have their period at the same time?
Right. We tend to sync up though, right?
Like we sync up. Like
we're close.
But if it's tied to the moon, like kind of like waves get bigger with full moon.
Yeah.
Is the full moon what drew periods? So would all of the women like
without like artificial light?
Way back in the day, without the artificial light, be on the same?
I don't think so.
I was thinking about that when we were talking about that. I said, well, yeah, that makes sense, because how else are you gonna like find each other and do it, and like have sex? I mean, does the moon having that light from the full moon help that, or would that be the best time to do it? I don't know.
Right, but
it's romantic. Let's make love under the full moon. Yes.
That's who? Nala and Simba.
Yes. Who doesn't want to make love under a full moon?
It is so gorgeous.
Right.
I mean, I've never made love under a full moon. But the lighting is great. The lighting.
Our bodies are like waiting to ovulate.
Yeah.
When there's a full moon.
And I was like, and so they said like, so one of the next questions I asked, it was like, so when a girl got her first period, how did they introduce that idea of you've now got this power? And they were like, they would send them in there with like to the menstruation huts and solitary. And they were like, of course it's a little scary to be alone or secluded, but they were like, this is a time when you're like connected spiritually. You would have visions. Like they really like, this is a time for meditation and rest. Your body needs it. Like it was then really like, and I'm like, it makes so much sense.
And I love what you said, rest too. Like I think having a 14-year-old daughter, I see like, oh my, she just needs to sleep. She's tired. Like, why do I give her so much grace? I'm like, oh, she's her period. She's tired. But like for myself, it's like, no, you just have to push through. Like,
I never even thought about the fact that men don't have this. Like, it wasn't until like 2 years ago that I was like, wait, we do this every month, and they've never even thought about that their body is 100.
You imagine?
No, it'd be a whole
bleeding,
totally different society. But so in their culture, it was that you get elevated. So women were considered, because they'd walked both paths. They'd been once they quit letting out blood, or now that life force was staying within them. Now they had a steady power, but they had also walked the path of having the cycle. So they were elevated above most men as well for their wisdom and their connection to visions and, just wisdom about what was going to happen. So how would it change things if menopause was seen as the moment you gained power and not lost it? Do you feel like
imagine if we had menopausal women running the world?
Oh, it'd be amazing. I can't imagine that it wouldn't. Yeah. But I mean, so do you feel like we're told
is that what maybe
is the
men were afraid of?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why they painted it in the picture that it was a bad thing, was so that women wouldn't feel
100
empowering.
Like all of I don't know that I've ever felt shame about. I mean, did y'all feel shame about periods? Like, it felt neutral to me.
Yeah.
But
I would say I did. Like, I was definitely like scared to talk to my mom when I started. Tell her I was scared. Like, I'm not going to school. I wasn't telling my friends.
Right.
Like, so yeah, I guess like I don't know why. Like, there was nothing outwardly that said this is shameful, but I knew like this is not something you talk about. So the fact, I think just the fact that like we didn't talk about it means like
privateness of it.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it as this is a private thing, kind of like we had our episode where we talked about going number 2 and everything.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a private thing. I always thought this is a private thing. You just don't talk.
Don't talk. It's not polite to.
Not that I should be ashamed that I have one, but it's not company talk.
Like there was a couple of years ago, maybe, that women were like not wearing pads.
Mhm.
Do y'all
With free
like,
bleeding.
the free
Yeah.
bleeding?
Like somebody ran a
I
marathon
find that
doing
weird.
it.
Yeah. Like, but I kind of like sat with myself. I'm like, why does it matter? But I just feel like that's how, like Shelley's face. I'm gonna zoom in on this now. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I do remember. 'Cause
Okay.
I remember the runner lady doing it.
Okay.
No, I don't remember.
I guess to each their own, but just to me, that just seems uncomfortable.
Yeah. It seemed, but I was like, I did not know how you get to a mindset where like everybody needs to know about. So I do feel like it is very like I've internalized the privacy of.
Yeah.
I mean,
My
yeah, think
period.
about it. Like you
Yeah.
need not to wear white jeans on certain
Oh,
days.
yeah.
Like, and why?
Yeah.
Like why? What about it? It's so embarrassing. But it was
Right.
like,
Oh yeah. Well, it just seems
Yeah.
so gross. Like
Yeah.
it seems so gross. Like
yeah, which it's not.
I guess
It's
it's,
not.
a fluid coming from your genitals. You know?
Yeah.
So just a body fluid coming from your
But now I'm,
shoot,
like,
if your arm
wondering-
was bleeding on me, I
I'm
might
like,
feel kind of
yeah,
gross, you know.
just sharing
Yeah.
bodily fluids and
Right.
leaving it behind on the seat. I mean,
Yeah.
but even if it was sweat, I think certain people might just be like,
yeah. But I think it is such an interesting like flip of the script to say you're being because do you feel like you're getting that message about menopause that you're being elevated?
I feel like
in
we're
society?
at a really interesting time too. Like people probably because like Gen X is in menopause now, and millennials are starting, like perimenopause.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely talked about a lot.
Yeah.
So I think it's not like as shameful.
Right.
But I think if we go to like our parents, were they talking to us about this?
Did anybody? Do y'all know when your moms went through
No.
menopause?
No.
I mean, I'm assuming everybody's moms.
I
have.
do, but only because my mom got pregnant. She was going through menopause.
She was like,
I
it's
didn't
not
think I
ever
had
old.
She's 42.
oh, so she's really, she's
Our
our age. She's young. We thought
Yeah.
she was old.
We did think she was
Well,
old.
she thought
We were so-
she did not take precautions because she thought she
But look, would you do
Was
that
no longer
now
able
though?
to.
Like us at 42, I'm like, no, you'd still. I feel like it's still a possibility to get pregnant now.
Oh,
yeah, but I'm not sure how far
Okay.
it,
Wait,
along
her
in her
cycle,
process
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Yeah,
I guess I'm just thinking
Yeah.
like 42, not that old. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But
like,
we did think it when
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
maybe everybody thought 42 was old.
Like
back
when
then,
your
though,
mom got
too.
pregnant, I really thought it was like senior citizen level. Like not because she looked. I mean,
Now
now
you
looks
beat her.
really young. Yeah, exactly. Like,
Oh, yeah.
well, I mean, now we're older. I didn't have a baby at 42,
Okay.
so I'm pretty like I'm like, wait a minute.
like at 42.
I got 42,
40.
39. Yeah, I was 39.
39.
I celebrated a first birthday at 40.
Apparently, more women are having babies now in their 40s than
Yes.
teenagers.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't see
Yeah.
that.
So it's a big shift. I think we just
Yeah.
don't think it's that big of a deal, and we don't
Yeah.
think we're that old.
We don't.
My
We're
sister is 50. I'm gonna be 51, and she feel like she's going through like
very early.
basically almost at the whole full menopause.
Okay.
Her hot flashes are real, and she's doing she's living her best life.
Yeah.
So I do think you just see it differently now.
Yes. It doesn't mean what it used to.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it meant to our moms. Like, I have no clue
Mhm.
if it had a psychological impact on
Have you
them.
talked to your mom since we started
Since
the
we started doing
podcast
this?
about it?
Yeah, and she still is just kind of like.
Oh, so she still can't talk about
yeah,
it?
I mean, I don't think she thinks it was anything. Like,
Yeah.
to her, because she didn't have like tons of like symptoms like that
Yeah.
were preventing, life. Like hot flashes. She wasn't
Yeah.
like I have to go take rest and.
Well, I know my mother-in-law talked about going through menopause,
Okay.
and she said that was the worst time of her life. She said she was like so mean, the devil, this and that.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe different women experience it
Yeah, I'm sure.
differently.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
But she was just like, that's the
It-
worst. I was so mean to everybody, and I just had
Yeah.
a horrible time.
So
Oh, I don't
a
know.
friend of mine, she was, because now anytime I'm around people, they're like, let's talk about perimenopause. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay. But her mom, she was talking about her mom. She asked her, hey, how was your menopause? Like, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, it was fine. It was no big deal. And then she was like, how was it between you and dad? She's like, oh, we filed for divorce. Like, what I'm like, we
I
filed
heard
for
that
divorce.
too. Divorces
Yeah.
go up. And I don't know how much of it is like, you're just like menopause symptoms, or you're just like, when you lose your estrogen, you lose that part of you that puts others ahead of you. And
That's
you're just,
what I've heard.
yeah,
Yeah.
So you're just like,
Yeah.
no, like,
Yeah.
I'm tired of putting up with this.
Yes, and that's I think where you feel like you can gain the power. Like apparently when you go through menopause, you're less of a people pleaser because you're
Yeah.
less willing to sacrifice your own needs for
Yeah,
others because
right.
you're beyond that whole caregiving mother. Like
you're not biologically wired.
Yes, now you're like I'm
I wonder-
picking myself first, and that means divorce.
Yeah.
and
suicide.
Whatever.
That's when it goes up. Suicide goes up like dramatically up during menopausal years for women.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think you know what to do with it.
Is there any research about having kids later if that delays the onset of menopause?
I don't think it does. Because I've looked at it.
Because you wonder, because I feel like part of it is like you have to be a mother, you have to carry you put their needs ahead of yours, and that's how the human species continues. But
right.
If you have a kid late and then you go through menopause and they're 5, then sorry, dude.
Yeah, I'm a piece out.
Mary Claire Haver, when she did that one interview, she's like, you're born with this many eggs. When you run out, that's it.
And that's when it starts.
It doesn't matter when you have your kids.
Yeah. I think.
But I guess if you have lots of kids, which pauses your period, that holds those eggs for a while, so maybe that could prolong it some if you have a lot of kids, or if you do like the birth control for a long period of time, it stops periods, and you're not getting rid of the eggs like you're supposed to.
Right.
So that could change it. But just regular life cycle, I don't think a late child would affect.
Right. It would just
based on kind of her explanation.
And I mean, I might cut this out, but like my grandmother had like 8 kids, right? And her last one was in early 40s, and then my mom was in the States and brought my grandmother over here, and I think she left my uncle when he was like 8, like she was
as connected to him.
I wonder, like, you'd never do that with the firstborn.
Can you imagine right now?
I don't know. Like, but I mean, and you wonder, like, is it because it is an 8th kid? Like, you're not that special. Like, is it or it's a mix? Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so it would change things. Japan. This is called the second spring. In Japan, menopause is called, I don't speak Japanese, Konenki, which means renewal years. And it's understood as a kind of second spring, a chance to step back, reset, and re-enter life with wisdom. It ties to the Japanese idea of ikigai, your reason for being, and jibun rashi, you guys know, living as your authentic self. So imagine if menopause wasn't a door closing, but an invitation to ask, what makes life worth living now, and what feels most like me? So what do you guys think about that?
I like that one. There's this woman on TikTok, and she's like kind of embracing this whole second spring.
Yes. What does she do?
Just talking about stuff like this. Okay. Just kind of, it's all that, like, like she just kind of says exactly that. Like, this is a new beginning. I'm reframing how I, look at this. It's not like a death. It's just like a new phase. And
I think it kind of goes back to what you're talking about. And if it's, that's true, I don't know, I haven't done the studies, but like the hormone level changes and you're like less of a people pleaser, less likely to put yourself on the back burner, but now you're like, man, I'm putting myself first. So I feel like that's like, okay, I am living my authentic self because I don't care about what you think, I don't care what you need, this is what brings me joy, makes me happy, and I'm gonna go for it without like feeling guilt or the burden of like doing for others. So it kind of fits in with what you were saying before, like you have this like power of self or whatever.
So
I love that. Fits.
Something we're gonna do another episode about is comparing, like talking to ourselves at 14 versus now. And I love it because at 14 your mind is very much all about yourself, like that's just survival, biological, that's how you are. And then we go through so many, and I think a lot of women, me included, feel like you really lose yourself because you're worried about like your spouse and your kids and like making sure everyone else is happy, your community, all that. And you lose a lot of like who you are at your core. And I think that's a really cool way of looking at this. This is coming back to the core of you. Like, So what are you doing to find the core of you? Shelly is watercoloring, which I
love it. I love it. So Shelly is, this is her project for us.
This is very much something you would have done at 14.
Yes.
What, painted? Oh yeah. I did I did cross stitches. I've always liked kind of the arts and crafts.
Yeah. And how much have you been able to do since becoming an adult woman?
Well, I don't do very much because then I'm like, well, what do I do with this thing that I've now made? And I don't know what to do with it. I mean, I used to love like the little latch hook things where you make like pot holders. I don't need a giant stack of homemade pot holders. So I don't make them.
When you're a kid, you're like, here, give them to your friends. And,
so I don't make them. I mean, as an adult, if I wanted to and I enjoyed it, I can make it and throw the trash roll. If I need to.
Technically,
I mean, if I just enjoy the making process. Right. So I hadn't done.
But no, I think that's beautiful. I think that's like a little bit of you like
popping back out.
Yeah. I signed up for a tennis clinic.
Good job.
I'll start in October.
I love it. No, that's the kind of stuff I think would be. You do. Oh, Vita,
I still want to do a dance class.
Yes. Moving your body.
Have you aerial silk?
Yeah.
There's one right near my house, and I'm always like, I'm gonna look.
Do it.
And it's like if I just did once a week, something, kind of cool and fun, but then I just always put it on the back burner, like I'll do it, and then I never do. So.
But I think it's good even that we're like being mindful of it.
True.
Yeah.
So because I mean you still do have little kids, and a job, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think that's good that we're talking about it and thinking like what's coming up when I do get that free time.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And even if you don't because something else happens, like knowing like, hey, this is what brings me joy. I know I still have that in me.
Yeah,
That's very true.
Are you still looking at doing the competition again?
No, competition's a bit much, I realize. So I'd rather just do something like that.
That's
like
fun. That brings you joy,
I can still be a little bit more physical, but it's just a lot of
and it's not
rules
and good for
not
your
rules,
health.
but like
it's very it's not healthy.
It's
either.
very,
it doesn't bring you
it takes away.
Yes.
And I feel like you're taking away stuff from your life versus adding. But
How about you, Marie? Is there anything that brings you joy that you want to bring back?
This podcast.
That's true. Hanging out with your friends.
Hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
If you told me like you have, you've won $1 million, how do you want to spend your day? Like I just go get coffee with you, go get breakfast with you. You know what I mean? Like I would just social butterfly around like the 4 people I like in the world.
Yeah. Are you gonna pay for my lunch?
Yeah, of course. On me, like
I can go to lunch every day. I can.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think I just like hanging out with you guys, and I don't know.
No, that's perfect.
Yeah,
like that
it's
is
totally
and I do feel that too. Like just spending time with friends is definitely something that brings you back to like the core of who you are.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, I do think it's such a gift because I when I see my like homeschool mom friends or my work friends, like I know them in the context of this, but in this weird way, we have this gift of like I get to see 3 women that I didn't. You guys weren't engineers when I met you and lawyers when I met you. You guys were just who you were.
Yeah.
And so I never feel like I haven't pigeonholed y'all, and I love that. You haven't pigeonholed me. Like we kind of have this freedom in this room to be like ourselves in a way that I don't. And I mean we have with our family, but I think it's fun. I love this. I love you.
Knowing somebody like before they become a mother, or before they become an adult. Yeah, it's like
their
I like you
context
for
is
you. I don't
such
like you just because we have kids the same age, and or I can talk to you fine. But like
there's just something really neat about this. Okay, so we like second spring.
That's my favorite one so far.
Yes. This one I think kind of the same as the Native American. But so in Zulu and other African communities, postmenopausal women were often allowed to join male-only councils or take part in rituals younger women were excluded from. Menopause wasn't decline, it was a status upgrade, very, very similar to the Native Americans. What new role or privilege would you want to unlock at menopause if our culture treated it as a promotion? And maybe I'm going to scratch that question. How we talk about that, like menopausal women running the world.
Yeah.
How do you think the world would be better if we gave menopausal women more? I don't know. Anyway,
no, that's
like how do what do you think leadership wise? What would be different culturally?
I think there would be less war.
Yes. I mean, I feel like big societal problems like world hunger, access to healthcare would be solved. Access to childcare. Yes.
Yeah. A lot of things that have fallen in the last 400 or 500 years fallen on women exclusively, like childcare, education, things like that. It would be more front and center. Yeah. And there would be more value put on that work and that,
100%.
My dog's in here.
What about you? What do you think would be different?
If all your bosses were menopausal women, how would your job change? Postmenopausal, not like going through menopause.
Not going through it, because that's hard.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not sure. Because
you like men.
I like working with guys.
Yeah. But I think working with guys is kind of like working with postmenopausal women. Like, I love working with men.
I'm just thinking of me right now, I think
so
starting
you worked with women who are like, maybe it was a little bit more like competitive.
Yeah, maybe because it is a more male-dominated field, it is more, women feel like they're more competitive, having to compete more.
Yeah.
So,
because they think there's this like scarcity idea, like, I'm going to be the girl.
Yeah. Well, in the new firm. Okay,
no, go ahead.
I was going to say the working at now. My boss is, I think she has to be in her 50s, but I like working with her. And then like we have like C-suite level folks that are women. And one is like, we have a mentorship program, so I talk to one like monthly. And they're great. They're boomers though, so that's a little different story. But I like that they definitely like been there, done that. Like they understand. And then like the whole like the world would be a better place because I feel like there's more empathy with women. They've been through the struggles and whatnot. But when you get into menopause, you have like this ability to like, I mean, honestly, we do cycle up and down and get emotional. I'm not gonna lie. Like I have those, and we get tired and this and that. Yeah. So, but now it's kind of like you've went through all these experiences and all this wisdom, but now you've like, I'm solid, I'm stable. Yeah. So I feel like that's where the power is. The experience going through that, and then now being able to kind of control.
Being able to have the empathy.
Yes, but you've done experienced the empathy and everything, and the ups and downs of life. And
so something about this conversation is like really like unsettling for me a little bit because I feel like part of it is like, oh, well, if you're no longer a woman or womanly, like we'll take the woman part out of you, you're not leading, then you can be on par with a man. And I don't feel like, I felt that way too. And I feel like, and then like part of me is like, I don't want to lose my womanhood. Like, I don't like that idea. I like, that's why I think the second spring is much more, it's like just a change. Don't change me into man. Don't make me equal with a man because I'm always different than a man. And I have powers, whether I'm menstruating or not, that are different than that. But I don't like the idea of losing my femininity and my womanhood. So like this, it's like, oh, you're no longer a woman. Now you can equal with men. Now you can sit with the boys. Right. Like, I don't like that. Like,
if I was going to look at it from that way, I would consider myself being downgraded.
Yes.
Exactly. But that's, and I'm not saying that's what they felt. I don't know anything about this, and I'm definitely not saying that's what you guys feel. But I'm just saying it's like
that's the truth. No, that's
how I'm a little uncomfortable. I'm like, I don't like that idea. Like,
and I think that was how I felt too. I was like, so are you saying like, because I feel the same way. I was like, well. So I had all these superpowers. I was menstruating and in a constant state of ceremonial cycling, and now I'm just
now I'm a regular dude.
Exactly. Now you might as well be a man. But they're not thinking about it as a metamorphosis. You go through two phases of life, and that's where you have more wisdom.
And I think that's
like
what
you experience both sides. It's kind of like I have a more complete view of the world.
And I think that's what this culture was for sure. Like the Zulus were like women. You leapfrog over men. I don't know that even they thought men were. I kind of feel like lots of these cultures were like men were the.
But I mean, you don't have to think of it as men inferior.
Yeah,
like somebody said this is
different.
Yeah, it's just like two, like the whole yin and yang. We balance each other out. Right. Like the beauty of a menopausal woman is you experience the whole wheel.
Yes, like
so. But it's like it's because you guys think men are inferior, but that's not the case either. They're just different.
Yes.
So now you've experienced like both sides,
and that's why I think that to them it wasn't even that you were a man. It was you're even higher than the man.
That's how.
And that was part of
that's what I got from your reading on the Native Americans. The Zulu one did not
translate that way. I think it was tired of
and of course, and I think it's like
shut up, Maria.
Anything like it's going to be translated different individuals. Any culture, people try to use things to enable their power. Like so that's
But I do think it is that we will have gone through both life forms at that point, like in a weird way. Like we've experienced it all, so you should listen to us. Like we have a much like a 360 view of humanity. That
do you know the two like mammals that live through menopause?
Like I know what elephants
or
whales. Yes, and they're very
matriarchal too.
Yes,
like the grandma leads the pack.
And I just think we've lost so much not being more matriarchal. I mean, like just the entire like sense of culture and community is always held by women, and then when you cut that out, like you don't have I don't think it's healthy. I think it's like incredibly.
And I think the way we look at history, especially the way we're taught history in school, it's like it's all like we kind of all go from this like, the Roman Greek era, and we follow from that. And we study European history, and then we study American history. So we think in our mind we're like it's always been like this, but like that's just like a fraction of human history if you look at it as a whole. But like the way we study in school is very focused on that. So that's like. We're like, oh, it's always been like this.
Like, it takes up your entire timeline of humanity.
Right, in our mind, but like not in actuality.
Yeah. Next one. India, Ayurveda, how do you say it? Ayurveda. Okay.
And that's where my name comes from.
Yes, So, and the forest dweller stage. I love that so much.
Forest dwellers? Tell me this. Let's go.
So,
in somebody who won't camp outside.
I was like, go get into the woods.
In Ayurveda, menopause is called Rajanvrudi, literally the ending of the bleeding years. It's not a disease.
I like it. Like,
yeah, the ending of the bleeding
Very
years.
descriptive.
It's not a disease, but a natural passage, moving from the fire of midlife into the airy wisdom of elderhood. Instead of talking about symptoms, Ayurveda speaks about balance. Is your fire, air, or earth out of whack? And the remedies from herbs to rituals are about entering this next season in harmony. So in Hindu philosophy, there's even a whole stage of life that aligns with this, the forest dweller. It's the moment you hand off household duties, step back from the grind, and turn your energy toward wisdom and spirituality. Instead of decline, menopause was literally a green light to enter a whole new role, less doing, more guiding. So I just thought, I love
that.
when I read Forest Dweller, I said, I've never felt a title more. I would love to be a forest dweller.
The household duties.
Yes. I was like, I'm walking into the woods, like that Homer Simpson meme, like you're
Yeah.
just going into the bushes. Like, I know that's still like hide from conflict, but I was like, yes, let's just go into the bushes.
Really like that too.
Yes, all of it.
That's beautiful. I like that. She's
Oh,
like
yeah.
also hiding in the bushes.
Exactly. I don't care what y'all are doing anymore. But so I guess like in the Ayurveda world, it's like they're not so much concerned about your emotional processing and your role in the community, but they're just kind of like, you're going to have symptoms. Are they out of whack? It's about harmony. It's about being in balance and figuring out the.
Well, I mean, that does speak to your role, I think, of being a guider.
Yeah.
Like, you've had all this experience, and it's has an opportunity, like, to give back to the community.
So I think for us, like right now, if we look at it, like, oh, we're going to get to this point where we're a guider. It sounds beautiful. But I think for this to work, we also have to look at like the fact that are we being guided? Like, because like we're like, oh, other people don't know. Like, well, when I am an elder, I will be wise. My children should listen to me. But like, I think we have to look at these examples and look for examples who are willing to guide and share and follow them. You have created that, Marie. You always made like good role models who are like,
I have always
older women
been
and
like around older women.
Yeah.
Like,
I am not great at that.
Yeah, that's like, I do that a lot, and I love it. And I do feel very like, okay, this is a role you're going to be taking one day. So I'm very cognizant.
Is there a reason? Help us.
I don't.
That. I mean, I'm thinking like as I was reading that, I was like, "It's beautiful. That's what I want to be." But I don't look at
older women.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not the one. Like it only works if.
But I think we
all
kind of
generations
got into a crappy cycle. I think we were born. It's kind of like we're inheriting women that were disconnected from their moms for whatever reason. I don't feel like my mom got some special old woman counsel. Like I think that was all being broken down in their generation. Like I don't think boomers got this great guiding.
Yeah,
and they were very like, we'll figure it. We don't need you. They kind of threw away.
Boomers had silent generation.
Silent generation. And so I don't think that we got a great example. And I do feel like we're kind of, because of the internet, I don't know. Because one of my thoughts is like, we all started, well, y'all didn't. I blogged and you guys read a lot of blogs of birth stories, right? Like, and like that idea of like, you're telling the story of birth.
True.
And I don't think our moms had that.
No.
And they didn't have
that's what got me through it. Is I thought like, millions of women have done this. Like millions of women are doing this now. Like that's what got me through like natural birth.
There's
and like
so much of like the hard parts of womanhood that were designed to be in community and shared.
I was gonna say all these stories are from groups of people who like live in a community, villages and whatnot. And I feel like our modern world really disconnects us from that.
And like did a very good job.
I mean,
it did. And that's like the idea of like single family households, not multi-generational living where we're very separated. Like, I think that does a lot of damage. And then I think it breeds a lot of loneliness too. Like,
and it all feeds on top of each other.
You guys heard that? I don't know what's his name. It's a comedian. He was saying like, we're in this modern world. We are like, we gave up our villages to be a part of this modern world, only to pay for the village back. Like I'm gonna pay for a cook and a cleaner, and I'm gonna pay for somebody to watch my children and stuff like that.
And the lack of like these like free third places where you can just be in communion with other people. And
like now you have to go to Starbucks and buy.
But even at Starbucks, it's not like you're talking to people, making friends.
No,
you're just
the point's not to talk in front of.
No.
But so do you think having a ritualized guidebook for this stage would help modern women? So a guidebook meaning like the herbs and ritual, like you're feeling this, go with that. or does that risk making it too medical again? Like, do we hate?
No, I don't, because I think it normalizes it too. And I think that's where our generation is doing better, is by talking about it, because people are talking about it online and you're like, oh, I'm not the only one going through this.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've talked about this a lot. We're like, oh, that's perimenopause. Oh, that's perimenopause. Like things that people are like, oh, I guess I'm just getting older. Or I guess just my ears are itchy for whatever reason. Like little things that are annoying, but not like you would never go see a doctor about it. Yeah. Like, so I think, so if somebody was like, there was a guidebook that said like, have more ginger if, you know, you're having trouble sleeping through the night, which is not true at all. I just totally made that up. I don't know how to sleep through the night.
I'm going to cut that up as a real advice.
Michelle said.
Magnesium or melatonin.
There you go.
But I think then you would be like, oh yes, this is like, I'm not the only person who's gone through this. Just like we were talking about your birth stories, like as, you know, like knowing that other women have gone through that.
I think that's what we're seeing now with all the stuff about perimenopause that's coming out is these women putting together this information. The doctors that are looking at like the the menopause documentary that came out.
Yeah,
they're trying to put that information.
Did you watch that,
there.
Shelley?
I did. Yeah,
I did too.
It was good.
She was really good. She did a good job there.
But like I think them collectively, they're putting the information out there. It's not into a manual or no guide yet, but all of it out there.
That is our modern day guidebook.
Yeah. So, and then also they're advocating for more research into it because there's so little right now. So I think that would help push that kind of thing. Anytime you're going to develop a guide on something, you're going to research it first. So
what do you think? Do you think it makes it too like medicinal?
Oh no, I love it because it sounds like it's coming from a very your personal experience. It's not just.
I don't see it. I don't know. I guess I don't understand the negative connotation with it being medicinal, especially if it's like herbs and like actual connection to the greater earth.
To like that balance of your body, like
or even like synthetic hormone replacement. I mean, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, I mean, either way, I don't have like a negative. Like, it is. I mean, I just don't see why that's negative.
No, I think it's more like empowering. You know, like I'm not the only one going through this, and like
I guess they're wondering, is ChatGPT? I don't know what it was thinking either, but I guess like. Is focusing on symptoms in general like a bad thing, and I think we're saying that I think it is what's happening. Like it's like saying like, oh, I don't want to know anything.
Well, I think
about
if you focus on a symptom without trying to find its underlying cause, that could be a bad thing. Like keep treating this cough, but really the person had tuberculosis or dying. Then that could be a problem. But if you do this guidebook and you recognize all these symptoms together are perimenopause, and here's the solution for that.
Well, I think there's not a solution for. I think that's part of it too. Is to know like there's not anything wrong with you. Like yes, we can help alleviate some of your symptoms, but there's nothing wrong with being menopausal or going through menopause. It's just a phase of life. So I think that's the thing. There's not a root cause besides you're alive. Like
and your body is
changing.
Yes, and
I guess it would have been a better word of it saying like instead of treating it like a disease.
It's not something to cure.
Yeah, it's not a disease.
That's the word. Yeah. You want to like same thing. I keep going back to birth too. Like they're very like yin and the yang, two separate sides of it. Like in birth, like there's nothing like, oh no, I don't know what's wrong. Like that's because no, it's a baby. It gets like this is part of the process of like continuing life.
No, I like that. Our last one, the Andean Peruvian people, the elders are the storykeepers. So in Andean communities, women often shifted into roles as storytellers and weavers after menopause. It wasn't a single ritual, but a cultural acknowledgement that they were now keeper of memory and tradition. We tend to think menopause is just biology, hormones and cycles, but in these cultures it was more memory, identity, belonging, spirituality. If we could weave our stories about menopause the way the Andean women weave their landscapes into cloth, maybe we'd see it as sacred and not shameful. So what stories do you think menopausal women in our culture should be entrusted to keep and tell? I don't really know what that means. But anyways, the idea of storytelling.
Yeah, I love that. And I like the idea of storytelling through art and through like movement. And I think that's like part of what keeps you young. And I like think of like Chili's art here. And I know a lot of like the slaves in early America, they would pass messages through each other through the weaving of the baskets. I love the idea of like art passing. And I know like a lot of menopausal women really have the time to get and find art and find painting and something like that. And so yeah, we are. Like, even if you're like, oh, I'm not an artist, that was not my skill. That was because we try to do something practical. That like you guys are all very like artsy people. Like, but you're like, I'm gonna make a living.
Can I sell this on Etsy for $4.99, Shelley?
Shelley did not volunteer for that.
I like telling the stories, and I like the women being the keepers of stories. I like that idea. That idea resonates with me, and I like how it's done through art and through something physical. Like
like
the thing that kind of popped in my mind when you said that we're the ones to keep memories. I'm like, well, crap, I'm going to be sucky at this because my memory is going bad.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
No, that is not true at all.
No,
Shelly,
I had a good memory. It is going.
Shelly,
I had to do a work
I
order
guarantee you
at
can
work the
tell
other day
me.
3 times.
Oh,
The
just kept
same
messing
one.
something.
I just kept messing it up.
Were you tired?
No, I just can't think sometimes.
You don't drink coffee.
Shelly is
either.
very, I mean,
I don't
not,
drink coffee.
but
Shelly is literally our memory. Like,
She is.
No, like, I can remember 10 years ago.
she has that all well thought.
I guess it's more not the memories that are the problem. It's
Concentrating.
the organization of
Mm.
stuff, I guess, is
a
working
perimenopause
right now. Yeah, that's my serious one right now.
Yeah. No, it's a very real one. And like
Yeah.
to act like you're
Brain
not
fog.
handicapped at work or feeling handicapped at work is, and
Yeah.
it's a
And
dis-
I feel like the special woman thing, like we talked about, like, oh, go to work bleeding, like,
yeah. And now we're going to go to
time, go to work having miscarriages. We
Yes.
don't, like, it's not, we don't talk about this stuff. We
No.
just do it, you know?
Yes.
It's very, so
Yeah.
it's hard. Nobody acknowledges it, Shelly.
No, I made all kinds of errors. I'm like, we'll fix this later.
Yeah.
But you
Just
did,
move
though.
on.
You
You
know,
know, it's time for you to stop being a doer and a teacher and a storyteller.
You're gonna go
guide.
You need to guide somebody younger than us
come
to
into the
do
forest.
this. This is how you do a work order and not actually do it
Well, if you're
yourself.
looking for a job,
Yeah.
I've got positions.
Shelly's like, I'm looking for somebody to guide.
Yeah. But I do like that one because I think, and maybe it's because I don't know, like with my family structure, like I feel like it is very kind of matriarchal.
Yes, you are. I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
your family structure.
So like I feel like that's the one that kind of brings everybody together.
Mhm.
Like that's there's always like the mom of the family, or you think of kind of like the like an old Italian family. There's like the nonna that has all the recipes that she
Yes.
passes
Yeah.
down, all these traditions, and everybody gathers because of her.
Yes.
So I feel like my sister's not that old yet, but like she's
become
gonna be that center, the hub for everybody. That's when everybody gets together,
Yeah.
talks about like all the stories you had in the past,
And she knows your stories from you
Yes.
being a little
and then
kid.
sharing the recipes. And I feel like a lot of like tradition gets lost with American culture.
Oh,
Or
yes.
everybody
Yes.
feels like you have to start making your own traditions.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like there's some kind of disconnect there, and I feel like it's a cultural thing.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
I think it's living on your own
Yeah.
too, and I do think like because we're a nation of
Indigenous.
immigrants and well, no, just like all sorts of cultures
Yeah.
that we kind of assimilate and lose like a lot
Yeah.
of like your individual
Yeah.
Yeah.
traditions. But I do like my grandmother just turned 90, and
Yeah.
it is like, and she's very much in her storytelling phase. Like
Mhm.
I just
Yeah.
know all these stories that she has of like living in South Dakota, where her husband was like, my grandpa was like fighting fires and all that. Like she
Right.
loves telling me these stories. So
Right.
she does like she's very much like
I want you to know these things.
yes,
when these
yes.
things
She's very much
happen.
in that. And then over the last like few years, she's definitely been like, here's how I make my boiled custard.
Yes.
Here's what like like passing the hosting duties on in here, and it has to be done her certain way. So it's
Mhm.
very much like here's our tradition. Here's what we
Yeah.
need to do. So I
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I think, but, and I'm,
preserving those memories,
Yes.
knowing that they're
yeah.
Yeah.
And I also think, women, and I do this because I'm not a very good, like, make memories for my children
Yeah.
type person, right? Like, I mean, we stay on track, but I'm like, listen, you got the mom you got. But, like, and we kind of, women are so silly, like, that we go too much, like,
Yeah.
and we do,
Yeah.
I think to some degree, like, I
Yeah.
think social media has turned it
Yeah.
into a weapons of mass destruction game, like,
Yeah.
but I think at the core of it is we're trying to keep traditions alive, and we're doing all that work alone. But it's not silly. Like it's
very important.
it's
Yes.
important.
Yeah.
And
If
it's
you
not
don't get
silly
paid
work.
for it, you don't
Yeah,
get time off work
exactly.
for it. You don't,
Yeah.
just to talk about what you said though, Marie, like you are making, like I think about my mom, and like she definitely would not have been like a Pinterest mom.
Right.
But I have so many, like she would take us to the creek and we would just walk in the creek. We went for hikes. She played with us
Beautiful,
outside. Like
yes,
all that,
like-
that's the type of mom you are. And that will stick with your kids.
Oh,
like,
thank
yeah.
you. But yeah, I mean, I think that's
Yeah.
like all of us. Like none of
Yeah.
us are like super Pinterest moms, but we're all like trying to make that
yeah,
Yeah.
we're there.
magical
Present,
childhood happen.
Yeah.
In our different ways. But it's so easy to be like, oh, that's just. It's silly, but it's so not. It's like
Yeah.
that is the backbone of culture, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think we've been dismissive about it for too long.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and
Because you think because it's women's work is why it gets
it's
dismissed
women's work
as
and it's not
valuable.
important.
Yeah.
It's just an elf on the shelf. Well,
Yeah.
it's an elf on the shelf that matters a lot to the little kid.
I think having some like was it I was traveling and I was in Canada and Quebec,
Mhm.
and there was like a cathedral, or I don't know what they call, but it was nice, and so I was like, I'm gonna sit through it because I'm by myself, and they had all these like rituals and routine pomp and
Yes.
circum, I don't know what you call it, but it's like you feel like I got super emotional.
Yes.
They were speaking in French. I had no idea what they were saying.
Right.
But just to feel like you're a part of something that's
That's
happened
been
for
going-
years.
That's what's beautiful about Lutherans. Like y'all
Yeah,
do
the
the same
liturgy
thing.
is-
yes, and
yeah.
it's like
And
that.
you cannot go for 20 years and you go back and it's the same liturgy. And yeah, there is some.
Incredibly
Brene Brown
grounding.
talked about that in one of her books about just like this feeling of, and that's why a lot of people like gravitate towards religions.
Yeah.
This feeling, needing to feel like part, and that's why like concerts make you emotional
Mhm.
and like just
A shared
Feeling-
experience.
a shared
Yes.
experience. This,
Yeah.
this feeling of like
And women
community
do
of
that
being-
work.
yeah.
Yeah, they
We-
connect the new generations to the like
Yeah.
a bridge to
Yeah.
connect all these generations.
Oh, yeah.
together.
Humans are social creatures. Like we need this. Like
Yeah.
it's with I mean, feeling isolated, it's got to be a huge
I mean,
predictor
like, you
for
look at what it
depression and
Does
Yeah.
to a whale. Like a whale
Oh,
by
yeah.
himself is just set up for disaster.
it will commit suicide. It
they'll-
will
yeah.
just
because it's not
If
worth
they're
living.
headed
Like,
as well.
if they're so, and I can't. I mean, I think we're very similar. Like, yeah, we're very similar to whales. Like,
Yeah.
I think, like, because the way they share. I mean, they teach each other,
Yeah.
and and it's very matriarchal. But yeah, I think like we are acting like something because it's not a life. You know that you can't measure it.
Uh-huh.
That it's not valuable or
Yeah.
it's not important. And I think we're losing.
no.
so
And
much.
I love that because I think it goes back to what I was talking about earlier about like some of these, and I think a lot of like in our society too, like, oh, when you're menopausal, you're no longer like you're not useful. You don't have your youth. You
Yeah.
can't make children. Men aren't attracted to you, so your value is gone. And that's not women's value. That's not what we bring. I mean,
Right.
it's part of what we bring. Like
Yeah.
obviously bring life is part of what we bring, but that's not it. Like there's
Yeah.
so much more. So like
Yeah.
this transition is where we can focus on part of the other things that
Mhm.
having a matriarch, that being a woman can bring to you. That doesn't make you not a woman anymore, but it's very much like I think that's a huge part why we chase youth. You know, like
Because
and I
we
know
don't
like
know-
me
You don't want to
personally,
not
too.
be a woman.
Yeah, you don't want to be like you don't want to lose your value.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I've asked ChatGPT because I've talked to it a lot about like
Everybody that watches this episode is gonna be like
Marie's best friend, ChatGPT.
I know,
She's
we
referenced this
have to
person.
get one of those like
she
pull up
texts ChatGPT
chairs.
more than she does her
I do
husband.
100%. I'm like, I don't even know it. Like, I have gotten into a fight with Mark, and like he's talking and telling his side, and I'm like, ChatGPT, this is what he said. What should I say? What me and ChatGPT believe? I am not even kidding.
What does he say?
What did ChatGPT
What does Mark say?
Oh, what does Mark say? He's just like,
So like my husband would just leave. He would just like
oh
he
no.
would walk out of the room.
Oh right.
Be like,
I'm
"I'm
sure
not
Mark.
listening to this."
I'm sure he would want to on some level, but he's also. I mean,
He wants to fix the conflict.
yeah. Well, and he also is like, well, what did
Interesting.
ChatGPT say? We're both the same
ChatGPT's
person.
biased to
What
say what
yours
you want to
said.
say.
Yeah.
It's gonna say Marie's right,
Exactly.
and this is why.
But but ChatGPT, like I have talked to it about like, you know, like so this is all the stuff that's happening, like hormonally, and you know,
Yeah.
now you're, you know, like where before our thing looks like this,
Yeah.
like up and down, up and down. But like now it looks like this, and it looks very similar to a man, like our hormone makeup looks similar. And I'm like, so are we just like dudes now? Like, is that what
you
it
asked
is?
ChatGPT?
Yeah, and it was like, no, you're so much more. I mean, it was like hyping me up. It's like,
Yeah.
go ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Like, but it was funny that because it feels like that was
It's funny, yeah,
essentially
that-
like I was
Some
like
of
even
these stories
biologically,
too, yeah.
and then you read the stories that like
Yeah.
oh now you can go to the male council, like it was an upgrade,
Yeah.
and I feel like we lost so much going
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
the.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as they're annoying sometimes, like,
Yeah.
but they're my annoying.
Yeah, I feel like there will be when I'm menopausal. Like I
Yeah.
feel like there will be like some sorrow there too.
Oh,
like
100%.
like even though like this is very helpful talking about this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how exciting. You know,
Yeah.
the next stage will be and all that. Like
and so like because I think that's the thing is like as children you're pretty much identical, right? Like the child body looks identical until
Mhm.
puberty, and then it looks really, you know, and then like you even look kind of the same after
Yeah.
menopause. Like old people,
Yeah.
they look like dudes and they look like women and blah blah. But it's like there's this beautiful like middle that's just bursting and teeming with life and
Yeah.
energy and all that. So I think there's a sadness of like, okay,
Yeah.
that flicker of light or that not a flicker, it's like a booming every
Yeah.
month, you know, combustion engine is
Yeah.
gone and we're dying a slow death.
I mean, we are dying. It does symbolize the end of life.
Yes.
But if you think of life as this bigger thing,
Yeah.
it's your opportunity to connect life now to the life before and the life in the
Yeah.
future.
It's,
your
it's a
opportunity.
bridge.
Yeah.
You're
you
bridging.
should like write down some of these.
Yes,
You are
we
so
will.
insightful.
It's the espresso. Thank you.
So insightful.
Thank you,
I
Jeff.
love it. So we'll wrap it up. We'll land the plane, as they say in podcast world. I've noticed that a lot. Like,
We're trying to say that. I think you said that before.
I've said it before.
Just trying to make it a thing.
We're going to land this plane. They all say it.
Okay.
Rituals aren't just for the very last period. They can be anchors across the whole transition, signposts along the way. When do you guys think we should start doing these rituals? I can tell you what ChatGPT says. Or
Now, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't know when your last.
You don't know when it's going
Yeah.
to start.
It's like what they say, like you don't know the last time you'll pick up your child.
Oh, that's such a sad one.
Yeah.
That one.
It'll be a while.
It comes fast, and then
You
they
don't
get
pick up
taller than
Quinn
you.
anymore?
Yeah, have you seen her? I mean, I try, but she picks me up.
Oh, well.
But it's so
Well,
true. It's like the
cuddle,
last time
and
you
yeah.
cuddle with them on the couch or
Yeah.
something like.
Yeah.
That way you keep adding them.
Exactly.
Every 6 years they get to that point. Oh, need a new one.
Yeah.
Gotta get a
That's what it
replacement.
feels like. Oh my God, I just internally miss it so much. But
I do.
I know. It's like it's such a fun stage once you're out of it. No, I mean like when you're in it, you're like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
It's a Twilight.
You're getting towards the end of like the baby time.
Yeah, it's like he's not a baby
Yeah.
anymore. Like he's like kicking people in the face, and I'm like, no, you know what I mean? Like there's like when he moves, it's not the sweetness.
he's not. Just all.
Yeah,
He's not all. He's getting pokey. They get like
Yeah.
lanky, and
exactly like
they're not just like little balls of.
Yes, we're throwing
cuddling.
bones now. Like. But in our early 40s, a ritual of acknowledgement, noticing the shifts, gathering women and saying, this is starting. I don't have to do it alone. Mid 40s, yeah, right. This is this. Everyone should be doing this. In your mid 40s to the 50s, a ritual of release. So grieving and letting go of fertility, of youth ideals, of certain roles. And in the years after, a ritual of arrival, claiming elderhood, wisdom, freedom, and authority. So is it too soon, or are we right on time to start making these transitions with
I love that.
rituals?
So I think we should plan. The first time one of us goes a year without a period, we have like a little girls' night. We celebrate it.
We
Like
celebrate,
you
yes.
like,
So.
yeah.
that month or whatever.
Yeah.
like,
Oh, and not just the first one. Each of us. Like,
Each of us.
whenever you have your
Yes.
year,
Yeah.
which like it has nothing. Well, it does have something to do with your age, but it could be like years apart.
Yeah,
15 years
exactly.
apart.
Like
But we do like
make a
celebrate.
point to celebrate
Yeah.
with one another. It's
I
a
will
girls'
have that.
night.
Oh, yeah.
Then you get to celebrate
You
us.
pick a year. I'm officially in menopause at 48.
Right? Like, what is the average age of menopause? We'll find out. That's
Like
when you'll
52-ish,
celebrate.
I
Yeah.
think.
Then we'll do yours at 50.
Because you're very average. Like,
Yeah,
as far as, like, you're right on average. Not average, you're just like right on track.
I love it. Ooh, there's more coming in. And that's where we'll wrap this episode up for a drink break. Awesome. Good.
Thank you, baby. Are these the paper planes?
And a potty.
And a potty break.
Are we doing another one?
Yes.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yes.
This is delicious.